All right. Good afternoon. So I love showing behind the scenes kind of stuff. What does it take to set things up? What are people doing behind the scenes as they're preparing their business, offering a new program, up leveling their lives like I am doing right now? So I use a program called OBS, and I've talked about this before. And let's see the mainstream. Let's see, me big. There we go. That should maybe work. Let's see if I can turn some things off. Camera front. No, I want that on. Camera left. That's off. Okay, cool. All right. So how did I just do that? Well, I'm using a program called OBS. It stands for Open Broadcast Software. It's an open source, meaning it's a free program. Look at us. Look it up. OBS Studio. And like TV programs, when they're switching cameras, they use a program like this to automatically go from camera to camera or microphone to microphone or whatever. You can control anything that you want with this program, including, like right now, you can see I've got a screen on the side of me right now. And so I've got this all pre-set up in OBS, and you can't read these particular things, but let's see if I go full screen. Yeah, it's going to duplicate itself right now because I'm using the very thing that I'm showing. So anyway, I've got different scenes up here. Can you see my mouse in the little frame up there? And so I just set this up. Now I'm going to be recording my life as a wave movie. One of my clients is an Emmy-winning filmmaker, and he is going to help me create. It's going to be an 18-minute version of Life as a Wave. It's going to give a complete overview training, and then we're going to edit it. We're going to also splice it up into little tiny segments, 3 minutes long, 2 minutes long each, that kind of thing. And so I'm going to be recording multiple cameras all at the same time. And it's quite the setup. So my first step is to set up the different cameras. So I thought I would show you. And so in OBS, I click these different scenes up here that I've already set up for different cameras. And so that you'll be able to see how I switch using OBS. So I'm going to get that out of the way and get rid of the screen sharing. And now it's just me. And I've got camera number 1. It's a very, very nice Logitech 4K camera called the Brio. It's actually the very best webcam that you can get from Logitech. And it's showing my, the overall clarity is much better. The focus is better, even though it's a little bit wonky. It goes in and out of focus sometimes out of the blue. Don't know why yet. So this is camera number 1. And you can see my background is all black right now. And actually, it's not. I've got what's called a green screen behind me. And then that's being keyed out so that I can have different images or videos behind me. Just go like a weather guy. He's showing the weather, but then you've got these superimposed maps and whatnot. That's all on the green screen. And I'll show you actually what's really behind me right now by turning off the keying. You can't see that, but I'm going to do that in the background. So I'm going to turn off the green screen keying, and there you go. So this is actually a piece of paper that is 9 feet wide and it's 36 feet long, and it's on a roller at about 10 feet up. I've got 12-foot high ceilings. And so I just roll the paper down. Now you can get green screens in different types of materials. And I've used a cloth material. It got so wrinkly and wavy, and I could never get it quite straightened out and clean. So this paper works really nicely. It doesn't get wrinkled. And now, the important thing with green screens is that you have to properly light them. Otherwise, you get these little fuzzy things and little things coming in and out. It's quite maddening, actually. And the trick is you light the person first. And so I've got 2 lights here. I'm going to have a third one on top and above, and actually slightly behind me. And that's going to give me a nice outline and a little bit of light behind my head. And then I'm going to get 2 other lights, and they're going to be strip lights on either side, and they're going to be really close to the green screen so that, and I can see, the Brio gets out of focus for some reason, and I don't know why, but that's all part of the fun. So I am using a program. You can't see it right now. I'm going to re-trigger the Brio. Give me 1 second. Still out of focus. And so if I get rid of autofocus and then I bring it back, it normally fixes it. Let's see. There we go. Yeah, I have no idea why that happens, but that's one of many things that I have to figure out. So anyway, so I've set up multiple cameras, and I want to know what you think here. So this is the main camera, number one, and I'm going to turn the green screen back on, so you're going to just see. And again, it's going to turn black because I won't have anything behind it. But again, you can put pictures behind it of anything, and it's very popular these days. You know, like Zoom will automatically put a background thing, and you can choose the different images, and you don't need a green screen. But when I'm going to be recording and when I do my lives, I do use OBS, which is a professional program. It does a really nice job with most things, and so I rely on that to key out my green screen. And so I'm going to turn that back on, and now you can see it goes back to black. And if I had an image showing, that would show right now. All right, so this is camera number one. And in OBS I've set up, so now here's another camera. I just put it up on the wall. And this is my, where am I pointing here? Can you see? There's a camera back here on my wall, about 9 feet or whatever. So this gives an interesting look, and you can see the different computer monitors that I play with, and me sitting here at the desk. And I'm going to be setting up each of these shots so each one looks nice. I'm going to clean up the clutter, like my music stand and a bunch of other stuff is going to be cleaned up. So that is my back wide camera. Then I've got this one, which is this, my front right. It's a Logitech 920, and I've got it just taped up on top of a bookshelf right now. So I'm going to have that running. And then I've got a front left, which is, there we go, right there. And now it's not as good quality. It's an old camera. It's a little out of focus. Plus you can see my green screen. You see my keyboard. You see the, so I got to clean up a lot of this stuff. So each camera view is going to be nice. So there you go. We've got one camera, second camera, third camera, and fourth camera. Pretty cool. So that's what I'm playing with. This is behind the scenes of, one thing that I've learned is that you can't keep just one view on the whole time. It gets boring. We're used to seeing shots changing every couple of seconds kind of thing, right? So that's what I'm duplicating using OBS so that I can quickly switch these different cameras, just like this. All right, and again, I'm going to be working on the background so it looks cool. I like this background shot. It's just a different thing. And people will, when they're doing lives or when they're recording videos, they will be switching these different scenes. Now, I also have my screen sharing camera with me with different views. Let's see here. Here's me small. Here's me with the full screen. And so whatever's on my computer monitor to the right,
you got a message
that's what you're going to see.
It says.
So hold on one second. There you go. All right, so there you go. That's a little bit of what it takes to set up multiple cameras and to use a program called OBS so that you can quickly switch scenes, as they are called. And again, for each scene, I can have different pictures behind me as if the green screen is activated, different camera views and all that kind of stuff. It's really fun. And I'm going to be getting some creative help with my nephew, Nick, who's going to be coming over here. And we're actually considering having him move in for a couple of months so that we can work on the launch, which is going to be happening sometime in 2020, right before 2021. I have a feeling is when we're going to be launching on Tip Genius membership. And so much has to occur before then. And I have been completely by myself and alone and quite frankly, burnt out. It's an overwhelming thing to be sure. And I don't want to do this shit anymore by myself. No way, no how. So my nephew Nick came over today unexpectedly. We talked about we're going to be doing Facebook advertising, testing different markets, different messages, different topics. And we also have to get a whole bunch of stuff organized, create systems, processes, and a whole bunch of other stuff for a launch. And so, I love my space. So it's a little, so I'm going to have somebody live here for a little while, but I could not think of a better person. My nephew, Nick, he's a freaking genius, and he loves Life is a Wave. He's all on board, and he wants to help get this thing out in the world. So he thought, hey, why not move in? I'll sleep on the couch, and we'll really get this thing rocking. So, okay, cool. That inspired me to set up these different cameras just before I went live right now. And again, it's a work in progress. And again, I like showing people what goes on behind the scenes to do these types of things. And again, I'm using a program that's 100% free. It's OBS. It takes a little bit to learn, but not too bad. And again, you can see me with the different cameras. With one little click in OBS, I can now switch, and it gives a little variation to things. And again, I'm going to be working on the background and getting it nice and whatnot. So now, when I record the Life is a Wave movie, again, it's going to give an overview of the entire body of work. I'm going to be having these camera switches, but I'm not going to be doing it live. I'm going to be focusing on looking at my slides as I'm giving the talk. And so I have to set up OBS to have a huge screen with 4 different cameras all showing and being recorded at the same time. Kern, the movie dude, he will then take that raw footage, he splices it into 4 different full screen, full resolution entities, and now he's in a position to edit everything. And then we have to get my back screen in there. So when I'm doing the Life is a Wave training, I go through the Life is a Wave slides. And so that has to be recorded as well. And I've been really overwhelmed with it, but after Nick, my nephew, showed up today, and the fact that it looks like he's going to live here for a little bit to help me launch, I mean, oh my God, that's like a dream. It's a little scary. It's a dream come true. I want partnership. I don't want to do this shit by myself anymore. It's not supposed to be done by myself. And so, yeah. And I didn't have to ask. He came up with the idea. So I'm really looking forward to, we're going to hash out the details. And so he's going to be able to help me. We're going to dive in to get these Facebook ads going and everything else with the launch. So we can work on it almost every day. How cool is that? Really psyched. We've got, I think, 87 days until the end of the year. This baby's going to be launched within 87 days. That's all I can tell you. That's all I know for sure. So there you go. That's behind the scenes of what it takes. We've got 4 cameras. I actually have turned, now eventually I'm going to be taking this whole apartment and turning it into what I call the Wave Cave. And I've got several other cameras I'm setting up as webcams. And this is a GoPro, a mimic of a GoPro. And this I can hook up into OBS as another camera. And I can also use my phone and my old phones, which I have several of, and I can turn all of those into webcams. And they're all going to be placed strategically throughout the entire apartment. And so when I do this camera switching, yeah, I'm just in my office right now, all right, as I'm doing these switching of the scenes. But then I'm going to have other cameras throughout the entire apartment. It's going to be a work in progress for quite some time. Number one priority, let's get that damn Life is a Wave movie recorded. I do feel inspired after being burnt out for quite some time. And it's a very common thing, and it can be really devastating to my sense of passion and clarity of the work that I do. And I have to be quite honest, I have been overwhelmed and kind of burnt out. But I've been through it before, and it happens in cycles, and I can tell I'm kind of like waking up, and there's nothing like getting a little bit of a jolt, a little bit of juice happening when somebody like Nick shows up. And it reminds me, no, I'm not alone. This is a together kind of thing. So for you, whatever you're working on, whatever you want to be working on, oh God, please don't do it alone. Take it from me. You'll waste years if you get started at all. You can waste years trying to do this stuff by yourself. It's not as fun. It can be fun. I love working by myself, and I love coming up with these ideas. But it's not as fun, nearly as fun, as when you got 2 hearts, minds, and souls together, synergistically towards a common purpose. Wow. And the little tastes that I've had of it. And now I can anticipate having Brother Nick over here for several weeks working on this together. that's going to be really cool. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed a little bit of the behind the scenes. And again, the program is called OBS Studio. Download it, look it up. If you've ever thought about going live, if you ever want to get a little fancy with video recordings and stuff, you too can have a little fun with the camera switching and whatnot. It's a lot of fun, actually. But now it's a question of fine-tuning everything and also automating things. So lots happening over here. And again, I just love showing behind the scenes of, hey, man, what's it actually take to be doing what these people are doing? You know, you only see the front end. You almost never see what it actually takes. And what it takes to be an entrepreneur is beyond anything I could have ever have conceptualized. I had no idea how challenging it can be, but so worth it. I'm in for life. I love what I do. And I really look forward to getting the word out to as many people on this planet as possible. Life is a wave, baby. Free up that mind, tap our abilities, live our passion to the fullest, you know, and then to have a place to come with other people, a community-based thing online, Untapped Genius membership. That is what's going to be launched. And we're going to be using the Life is a Wave movie as a way to tease people, you know, whet their appetites, get them intrigued with, what is this thing? Oh, that's pretty cool. And we're going to be creating all sorts of different science experiments with light and waves and sound as a way to kind of like a scroll stopper. It's like, hey, what is that? And then we're going to connect that with this Life is a Wave model to help people do their thing to the fullest. It's going to be really cool. Lots of work to do. But again, if we have a sense of something, we're doing something bigger than ourselves, that can help override any obstacle, any challenge, any shortcoming that you may have. There's magic to be found in the world of synergy. So get clear, get bold, go do that thing. Get some people on board to play with you and just make it about play. That is the best advice I could ever give anybody. I know that I've taken my shit way too seriously. Why? Because I'm really passionate about what I do, and I've dedicated my entire existence, and I've sacrificed so much. I'm not married. I don't have kids. I don't have a social life, basically. Life is a Wave and Untapped Genius. They're my everything. And I would have it no other way. Love what I do. But it's hard as hell. Not easy. So, you got that passion, you got that idea, you got that project on your mind, go do it and get some freaking, I was going to say help. We don't need help. Help is like, oh, go, please help me, save me kind of thing. That's not what we're looking for. We're looking for assistance, people to share a common vision and help empower each of us collectively towards that single vision so that it can actually happen beyond what you can even conceptualize. We need you to show up. You're freaking amazing. We need you more than ever. The world needs me and whatever I have to offer more than ever. The world needs you and whatever you have to offer. Big, small, tiny, huge, doesn't matter. It all counts. And it all matters. So if you're hesitating, finding yourself not having enough time, energy, conviction, belief, confidence, hell, you don't even know what you want to be working on, time to get clear. Get some help, or whatever we want to call it. Not help. Get some assistance. Get some support. Yes. Go to it. See ya.